primarily because I'd heard it was such a friendly, untraditional kind of college.
And then one day you'll walk into the front quad and you'll actually notice all the buildings around you. You'll look up and go, oh, I'm so glad I'm here.
The fact that you're here is enough. It doesn't matter where you came from. If you're here, you're good enough.
Just ordinary people having fun, working hard.
Everyone sort of works hard off their own back and that sort of thing, which is quite nice.
It's a very safe and very pleasant environment for women.
They said to me that they hadn't met anyone they didn't like at Wadham, and so I chose it.
Well, yeah, I had a bit of adventures when I came here, which was quite good.
Hello, Wadham College today is known for its friendliness, its progressive outlook and its high academic record. These are qualities which its founder would certainly have approved of. The Wadhams were West Country landowners and they had no children. When her husband Nicholas died in 1609, Dorothy Wadham was personally responsible for getting the building funded, planned, built and up and running. I'm sure if Dorothy came back now 400 years on, she'd be very pleased and proud with the way that the college is faring. For instance, it was Wadham which in 1974 led the first group of all-male Oxford colleges into admitting women. Today, out of about 500 students at Wadham, half of them are women. When I was here, Sir Maurice Barrow was warden. He was more than the legendary wit and popular figure people remember, and more than a literary critic and classical scholar. He was a kindly and forward-looking man who took the opportunity to open the doors of Wadham to young men from state schools like myself. Today the college has no social or cultural boundaries. It welcomes people from all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of schools and colleges. The only way to get in is to show academic potential, and this is assessed individually in each circumstance.
Well, I went to an ordinary comprehensive school and I didn't really know that many people had been to Oxford, so I guess before I came to university I was more cautious about the idea of the Oxford stereotype than I would be now. So I guess one of the reasons I applied to Wadham was that from the prospectus it looked like a genuinely open-minded, fairly progressive college, sort of place I really felt I'd fit in. And when I got here, that was exactly what I found.
Has a room in college in the Bower building, which was completed in 1992. The challenge of fitting 85 self-contained bed-sit units into a limited site within the college has resulted in a magnificent, award-winning design. No two rooms are alike. As with all accommodation provided by the college, students have Ethernet access and can have their own phones and televisions.
I actually have to go up a set of steps to get up to my bed. In fact, it's a ladder. So the one thing people always ask me when I come in is how I get up there after a party at night. The answer is I don't really remember, but I must do because I always wake up there in the morning.
For those who like living in older buildings, Wadham has plenty. For instance, lives in a timbered room in a college corner dating from the 1600s. Wadham would like to give the chance to live in to as many students as possible. Since the original buildings would never have coped, there's been construction as well as refurbishment. For example, this is the Goddard building, completed in the early 50s. The complex of buildings and facilities which comprise Wadham College is held within an area of less than 8 acres. The lawns and green spaces and their sensitive architecture have made it all seem much more spacious. Students have always enjoyed the beauty and tranquility afforded by these extensive gardens. Who's reading law has a room in the main quad which he shares with another student. There are separate bedrooms, of course.
It is a lovely place, yeah. But you do get used to it. Unfortunately, you just become accustomed to it and it just becomes your home. It's just like any other home, it's where you live.
Everyone living in college can have a good breakfast in the refectory. For those who make it, it's a good start to the day. Later on, the refectory serves coffee, lunch and tea. The morning's post arrives at the porter's lodge, where it's sorted and put into pigeonholes. Everyone has a pigeonhole. It's a great system for notes and messages too. The lodge is the information centre of the college, and it's tended 24 hours a day. Oxford and Cambridge are unique among British universities in terms of the time they can give to individual tuition. The key is the tutorial system. Tutorials generally consist of an hour-long session between 1 or 2 undergraduates and their tutor, who is often a leading light in his or her field. The tutorial encourages discussion and argument and develops the students' analytical skills. It's a system which allows flexibility and encourages self-motivation and independence. Wadham is a centre of academic excellence. It has some 50 tutors who teach a host of subjects, ranging from the sciences and medicine to the arts, Oriental studies and law. Wadham consistently achieves results across the board that are well above the university average. Tutorials, which are central to college teaching, combined with classes, practicals and lectures, provide a varied and integrated system of learning. Courses are arranged to cover the 3 terms of the academic year, and final examinations are held towards the end of the summer term. Lectures are normally not given in college, they're given in different faculties and departments of the university. To get to these, students can either walk or cycle. In the applied sciences, practical work is carried out in laboratories equipped to a superb standard.
Oxford is a very, very good science university, and that's also a reason why I chose it over the others. The research is top quality, the facilities top quality, the money coming in to fund research is immense, and that gives you also the opportunity perhaps to carry on after you finish a degree into research.
Wadham's got a very good law section in its library, half of the top floor of the library, so that's about 1/6 of the entire layout of the library is devoted to the law periodicals and journals. They keep it very well stocked, it's very up to date. All the current editions are there in hard-bound copies, and it means that we can have access all through the night. So, last-minute essay crisis, you're not stuck without a book.
The college library contains over 55,000 books and it's open 24 hours a day. As well as giving access to the books, the library is an ideal place for studying undisturbed. If you can't find what you need here, the world-famous Bodleian Library is just around the corner. Also close at hand is Broad Street, which is some of the finest bookshops in the country. Sitting conveniently between the Bodleian, Blackwell's and the college is the famous and ever-popular King's Arms. Wadham College provides an impressive computer room, which is a useful facility for a graduate doing research into computation.
In Wadham, we have literally dozens of computers, and all have the very latest in software, and in operating systems have a lot of variety in operating systems for any kind of taste. We also have printers and color scanners, and all of them are hooked up to a novel network. I've got a computer in my room which is hooked up to the network which Merifield provides. It has Ethernet in all rooms, so you can actually log on your computer straight away to the network.
The company which gave the college some of this equipment and software, Unisys, also sponsors a computer scholar reading for a postgraduate course at Wadham. Shares a flat in Merifield. This is a residential property for over 100 students, a short cycle ride from the college. The flats are shared by 4 or 5 students, and there are 4 two-bed flats available to couples. Opened in 1997, as with other recent developments, it was much helped by old members through Wadham's fundraising campaign. Near Merifield there are shops, a supermarket and a sports centre. Also close by are Wadham's own sports fields. Rugby, hockey and football are played here in the winter and cricket in the summer. There are both hard and grass tennis courts. Another sport enjoyed by many students at Wadham and in which the college has long excelled is rowing.
I was approached at the beginning of term fair about it, and I thought I'd give it a go just for a couple of times, see what it was like. Didn't really like the idea of getting up early in the morning, but I grew to like it after a term and now I've carried on and now I've become captain. When I phoned them and said, "Oh Mum, guess what, I've started rowing," she nearly fell over because she never thought I'd get up in the morning. I always said that there was no way I was going to get up before 7, and there I was getting up at 5:30 some mornings just to get out on the river.
Go 2, square up.
Other sports facilities are actually within the grounds of the college itself. The squash courts, for example, are below the Borough building. There's also a well-equipped weights room. The gym used for aerobics, badminton and other games is in fact the Sir Klaus Moser Theatre, a great college asset. There's a flourishing amateur dramatic society at Wadham, known as WADS. There's also a great interest among students in cinema, and organises a weekly screening that's well attended. The music room at the corner of the Goddard building is open to anyone wanting to practice. It's named after Sir Thomas Beecham, who was briefly an undergraduate here. The college is justly proud of the Holywell Music Room. This beautiful room was the first building in Europe to be constructed specifically for the purpose of giving concerts. It's still much in use today.
I'm the president of the College Music Society, which means that I'm sort of overall responsible with the committee for the 2 orchestras and 1 choir that we have in college, which rehearse on a week-to-week basis. I'm to play the second trumpet in the orchestra, and it's quite a big orchestra, so college orchestras that practice every week. It'd probably be up to about 60 people, so it's quite large for a college orchestra.
Undergraduates enjoy many forms of music as well as other forms of entertainment. Is SU president.
The Students' Union is an integral part of Wadham life, really. Everything that goes on affecting students is sort of run by the Students' Union. That's me, I'm the president of my committee of about 15 members. I suppose the most obvious part we play in life is ENTS, the student entertainments. We have fortnightly bops in the JCR where we get in DJs and big sound systems, big lights. And it's just like a normal disco. It's really, really good fun. You get 300 or 400 people up in the JCR. And the bar stays open till midnight most of the time. And then as well as bops, we have our weekly bar events, we have karaoke, we have quizzes, we have bingo. And everyone just comes along, has a good time in college with their friends. So I suppose that's the most visible part of what the Students' Union does, but obviously we do a great amount in the background as well. We concentrate on welfare, housing, looking after the minorities within college and things like that. My role is very much to get the students' point of view across to the college authorities and represent the students as best I can.
Wadham has a history of people not afraid to stand up for human rights. It was Peter Adamson, a Wadham man, for example, who set up Third World First in 1969, whose magazine has grown into today's New Internationalist. Postgrad and undergrad women in Wadham are represented by the women's group of the Students' Union. The women's officer explains some of the activities in which she's involved.
I think Wadham is the only college, or one of the very few colleges, that actually has a space for women. We have a women's room which is in effect like any other residential room, with a bed and a desk, and in the room there's resources, there's books about women's health. Dorothy's Lip, it's named after Dorothy Wadham, who's obviously the founder of the college, and it's been going about 5 years now. In fact, this year it will be the 5th edition of Dorothy's Lip and the 25th anniversary of women coming to Wadham.
Postgrad students at Wadham make much use of the MCR, or Middle Common Room. It's a quiet place where students can drop in any time, have coffee, check their email, read the papers and magazines and meet their friends. But the MCR is more than a congenial club. As a focus for graduate life in college, its committee represents and looks after the interests of all the graduates at Wadham. In this regard, the MCR also plays an important part within the Student Union. Uniquely among Oxford colleges, both graduates and undergraduates are included in Wadham's Student Union. Student welfare is attended to in many ways. For instance, the college nurse is available every morning of the week.
Yes, not too bad. And how long have you had the headache?
There are probably more financial pressures on students than there have ever been. The domestic bursar is always there to advise on financial matters and on the availability of hardship funds.
Obviously you need to pay in battles.
Students at Wadham have shown themselves to be equal to the demands of academic courses, but occasionally there are problems with work, and these are recognised and addressed through straightforward procedures. Most problems are likely to be caught at an early stage, not only because of the tutorial system, but also because there are internal exams taken before the beginning of term. And not only their own tutors, but the warden also takes a close interest in each individual student's progress.
I see quite a lot of the students about the college, and we invite them all in here about 3 times in the course of their stay for purely social events. But I also see every student once a year to talk about their progress, but not only their progress at their work, which in many cases is running very smoothly, but also about the way their lives are developing and the careers that they're hoping to go on to, and the way in which the college provides a context for their development and what they would like to see us do to make that all go more smoothly and more constructively.
If anyone ever has other personal problems on their mind, there are others to turn to for counselling. For example, the Students' Union have chosen 3 tutors who have undertaken to be consulted in confidence about personal matters, or the college chaplain is always there to listen.
The wonderful thing about this college is, and coming up to Wadham, is all the exciting adventures that people can have. And they have adventures, intellectual adventures, adventures on the sports field, and also as a part of that university adventure, they have often spiritual adventures, if you like, and they're very diverse. Some are Christian, some are not Christian, and my job is to help advise and guide people through the different journeys that they have whilst they're here.
Open to people of all faiths, the chapel hosts an annual Christmas carol service, which is a memorable and moving occasion. Having dinner in the impressive surroundings of the hall is quite an occasion. Even on ordinary nights, the tables will be full of chattering students. There are also special occasions, such as student guest nights, Burns nights, and the Christmas dinner. Round the walls are the reminders of past alumni. There's Christopher Wren, remembered today mainly for his architecture, but preeminent in his own day in mathematics and astronomy. In fact, what became the Royal Society first met in the warden's rooms here in the 1650s. The warden was John Wilkins, who left us his designs for flying machines, submarines, and wind-driven cars. The bar is a focal point in the college for bringing undergraduates, graduates and tutors together socially.
Gowns and etc. I mean, you never wear a gown in Wadham. It's just, you know, it's purely if you want to, you can, but it's not a thing that you have to do. Trivial it may be, but I like that sort of thing.
I think the attitude here is fairly good. I mean, we always achieve very well academically. People set their own standards really and mainly meet them, and I think that's a lot to do with the fact that college is really supportive rather than the other way around.
Women at Wadham do have the best finals result.
It was one of my favourite things when I did the telephone campaign to try and raise money for that building over there. Yeah. We rang the old members, yeah. And it was absolutely wonderful to hear other people's stories about Wadham and just to have some sense of continuity and some sense of belonging to a long history.
As you've seen, Wadham's a relaxed and friendly college with a great sense of community. It has a terrific academic record. It's a great place to be a student. Come on in.